Okay, this is long overdue. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. This is kind of, this is really late. But in a new season, a lot of new things. Starting a new job, moving out soon. Also starting up my clothing line again. So hint, hint, some heat coming your way. With that being said, I'm not going to watch the highlights, not react to the highlights of each game, but I'm just kind of, get a recap, do a very short recap of all 3 games so far that the Panthers have played. So, Jacksonville, man, this game, it was almost like I was expecting this, which is kind of sad if you're a football fan. But last year in week 1, we got blown out 47-10. So this is almost like not even a low light. Not a highlight, but not a low light. Yeah, Bryce is usually not that strong in home openers, but it takes a while to warm up usually. So that wasn't super surprising. Wasn't like too concerning. But Chube got a touchdown, receiving touchdown here. This game, it was just a game. Like, some bad things happened, but it could have been worse. Not really any highlights. But one highlight I do want to talk about is JC's one-handed pick. That was fire. Like, he's one of the top corners in the game. People keep sleeping on him and like putting him out the top 10 and saying like, oh, Pat Surtain this, Pat Surtain that. He's good, but if you're going to put Pat Surtain number 1, JC's number 2 or tied. Like, it is what it is. Like, they're neck and neck. Like, you can't just say one's way better than the other. The stats don't show that. So, look at this, bro. This was the highlight of the game. Ooh, that's nasty. That's tough, bro. Come on. At least something good came out of this game. Yeah, that was crazy. Our secondary is really, really strong this year. Our run defense, surprisingly, last year it was terrible. It was like the worst in NFL history. But having Derek Brown, I thought things would, improve quickly, but that is still a work in progress. Our secondary is one of the best in the league right now, which is a really, really good sign and a relief, to be honest. But let's move on to the Cardinals game right here. Tet had his first 100-yard game. Bryce went off for 300 plus, 3 tutties. It was like 27-3. The funny thing about that is I'm like, literally tell me you watch Carolina Panthers football without telling me you watch Carolina Panthers football. Is when you go to the NFL app and you just come out of church and you're going to be like, oh yeah, we're probably losing by like 3 scores. That might be generous. When they predict that nonchalantly, and it's right. We were down like 27-3. What is that? Yeah, it's 3 scores, literally. And I was like, oh, here we go again. We're probably going to be in the bottom of the power rankings. First 3 quarters were non-existent. Of course, we decided to turn it up in the 4th. Not even at the beginning, maybe just like halfway through. Like the comeback really started after that interception by Wanham, and then Bryce, like 7 minutes left in the 4th, decides to pop off. Regardless, I love the fight, but one play that stood out in that game was literally Bryce. You can argue with a wall. Bryce, even though the record doesn't show it, he is one of the best young clutch quarterbacks in the league. Because last year against the Eagles, he had that play where it was like 4th and 25. He scrambles, like literally like sheds 3 tacklers, fires a dot till he get for the first down. There was that one against the Chiefs, like right in his face, right in his grill. He didn't even like set his feet. Bang, dot. And we almost won against the 2 teams in the Super Bowl last year. And then Bryce again comes out on 4th and 16 and fires this absolute dot. Look at this. Like, that's a strip sack right there. Dot. Every time. Like, I have faith in my quarterback, man. You know what I'm saying? You know you got a franchise quarterback when a play like that is not unexpected. It's kind of like, oh yeah, I hope I get this first down, but there's less nervousness to it, right? Because it's like, oh yeah, Bryce, he got that. He's gonna do something crazy. I know it. Box score, yeah, Chube, decent game. Renfro. Let's talk about Hunter Renfro. Comes back to the NFL after being gone, like a year or two, and catches 2 touchdowns on 7 catches. Like, that is harder than you think to be out of the league. And he was like down 40 pounds too. He had some sort of like illness or something. Gained all that weight back and that stamina too, that cardio, that conditioning, which is crazy within a year to get back. But let's move on to the best part of the vid, man. The Carolina Panthers face the Atlanta Falcons and shut them out, baby. The only shutout of the NFL season belongs to none other than the Carolina Panthers. That's what I like to hear, man. Let's look at the box score. You know, you got Penix, 2 picks. Shao Smith-Wade with the tutty, the pick 6. Mike Jack got a pick. Bijan actually had like quite a few yards. He cracked 100 all-purpose. Yeah, it was crazy. I looked at the stats of this game, and the Falcons had more yards than us, but they didn't enter the red zone the entire game. We kept them out of the red zone the entire game, and obviously they didn't score, but they had more yards, more passing yards, more rushing yards than us, and maybe even more first downs. But we just shut them down, man. This is the game that I was looking for. I was not expecting a shutout. I knew we would win against the Falcons, but you know, there's been so much false hope over the years of being a Panthers fan. But this actually, it feels real. There's a culture change. You know, when Steve Wilkes was there, when the Rivera was there, when all the, you know, that 2015 roster and onwards, like kind of that 2015 to 2017, actually no, 2013 to 2017 stretch, when we were like the top team in the league for a while, and yeah, among the top. But man, that was a really, really good game. And check this out. The Panthers defense has allowed only 7 points in the last 6 quarters of play, considering the end of the Falcons game. Elite defensive output by Ajero Avero and co. Panthers defense overall this season. We are 8th in the league in points allowed per game, 12th in the league in passing yards per game, 7th in offensive touchdowns allowed, and 5th in takeaways. Those are some pretty, only one of those stats is outside of the top 10. And mind you, on the offensive side of the ball too, we've only had to punt 7 times. Like, I think the only teams who have punted less are like the Colts and like the Bills or something. But yeah, we've punted less than teams like the Chiefs and the Ravens and even the Eagles, which is crazy to think about. I thought this was just going to be like, you know, that typical, oh yeah, here we go again. We've been here before. I know what this losing feels like. But then just to turn it around like this and shut out the Falcons, like, okay, like in these next few weeks, we got to decide if we're going to be good or not. Like, we got to decide if this is a culture switch or not. Are we just going to keep making the same mistakes over and over? Or are we actually going to change something for good? But check this out. I want you guys to see. I love the saying, like, we're 1-0 every week, because it really focuses on, like, okay, don't even talk about the playoffs. Don't even talk about your opponents. And it kind of, in weeks to come, because it eliminates those distractions. But but we got to see this. We have a tougher schedule later on, but look at our next 4 games. The Patriots, the Dolphins, the Cowboys, and the Jets. Like, those are all losing teams. Those are all winnable games. We need to win early. If we can be 5-2 by week 8, that's crucial. Like, man, so much anticipation, and so much excitement coming up in these next few weeks. But with that being said, as always, keep pounding. Go Panthers, baby. Let's get it.